Inside of the CROSStrax platform, the account administrator, who is also referred to as the super admin, has the ability to control what users see across the board. That includes other administrators, investigators, and clients. These controls are commonly known as permissions or user permissions. In the CROSStrax platform, we call them roles and access. The role would be the type of user, the super admin, the admin, a client user, or an investigative user. Since the super admin or the account holder has complete control over the system, there are no permissions or roles and access for an account holder. The first section that we want to go over is the roles and access for admins or administrators. To get to that, you go to Settings on the left navigation bar, and up in the upper right, you have Roles and Access down here at the bottom of that section. This is going to take you to the Roles and Access screen. As I mentioned, you have admin roles, investigator roles, and client roles. In this video, we're going to focus on this admin role section. Within the platform, as you get started, you'll see that there are already a few items that are placed in there for you. You can customize those, or you can create your own roles by clicking on this plus sign and add admin role. You can start from scratch and create your own, or as I mentioned, you could go in here and you can edit the name of the role. You could click on this icon to manage the access, and that's what we're going to do in this first role here labeled Limited Admin. I'm going to click on that. This information up here describes the module rights or access that you can give to a user. If you give the user a view access, they're only allowed to view the data in that particular section. If you give them create only, they're only allowed to create new items in a field or in a module. If you give them modify, they were able to view, add, and update to the module, but they're not allowed to delete. The next one is modify and delete. That gives them the ability to add, edit, and delete information. If you give them full access, there will be no restrictions of any kind. First section here is the case management. These are all different parts of the case management system. If you roll over each one of these items, it'll give you a brief explanation as to what the section refers to. To change the user access, click on the blue label and it'll bring a drop down. You can then select from the following 5, which we just went over, and change the access for a user. If you don't want the user to have any access at all, click on No Access. This area down here is for the Customer Relationship Manager, and you can give them different access for that as well. Over here, you have the various parts of the system. If you want this admin user to be able to access the login report or the dashboard or the chat feature, you can control all of that. Here are different settings that you may or may not want an admin to have access to. Most administrators do not want their other admin users to be able to make any changes to the plan, and in that case, you do no access. For this user here, we do not give them any settings access to be able to upload company licenses or manage other administrators or make any changes to clients. This is just a preference that we made in this demo account. Yours may look a little different, and as with a lot of the customization in CROSStrax, there is no right or wrong way to do it. They're just the way that you want it done, how your business operates. One of the things I want to point out is when you make changes to roles and access, it may take up to 15 minutes for those changes to go into effect. Another best practice is the user or users that you change their access rights, be sure that they log out of the system and then log back in. One of the questions that we get a lot when talking to users is, who classifies as an admin user? It really depends on your business and how your organization is set up. Admins are typically made up of people like managers, case supervisors, office managers, people that manage other individuals within your business. You don't have to have an admin user. If you do a lot of the supervision of your employees on your own, you may not have any additional admin users. It could just be yourself. Just to recap, in order to change the administrator settings and roles and access to the case management software, click on Settings, and then over in the Users and Securities section, click on Roles and Access, and that'll bring you to the Roles and Access menu. From here, you can either add a new role by clicking on the plus sign, or you can edit existing roles that you've created. You can also edit the name of the role. If you wanted to change this from surveillance manager to case manager, you could do that. And if you ever need to delete a role, then you can click on the delete icon.